Welcome to Hit the Books podcast, Saturday morning live stream. We have our Final Four slate this weekend. We are going to get into some of these Final Four games, both games to be specific. We have Purdue, NC State, UConn, Alabama tonight. Obviously, the national championship on Monday. We just saw some women's Final Four last night. It's going to be a good stream. Got some good games to go through, a nice Saturday slate. And other than that, we're going to get right into it. And give me 1 second here, get things pulled up. Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're going to start out in the Final Four where we have NC State going up against Purdue. Good matchup here. Purdue, a 9.5-point favorite, minus 450 on the money line. The over-under's 146.5. I personally, this line's been going up and up and up for NC State, which is kind of scaring me. A lot of the money's on NC State here, as you can see per FanDuel. 72% of the money on the spread on NC State plus the 9.5. I am going to go with NC State. Heavy money in the Final Four. It does scare me, but I do like NC State plus the 9.5 points here in the first game. That's going to be the game at 6:09 p.m. And then obviously we have the second game, but I think DJ Burns is enough to stop Edey or contain him, I should say. I think that, I think NC State will draw up a nice game plan to minimize him, try to contain him. We should be good on that. I like the NC State Wolfpack plus the 9.5 points. I think DJ Burns has a big game. I think more rather than DJ Burns having to worry about containing Zach Edey. I think Zach Edey's going to have his hands full today with that big body of DJ Burns, Diarra, DJ Horn. I think this NC State team's coming to play, and I'm going to take them plus the 9.5 points. So, we'll move into our second game, Alabama versus UConn. UConn an 11.5-point favorite in this one. Alabama, obviously, at 11.5-point underdog, plus 540 on the money line for Alabama, minus 800 for UConn, minus 800 to go to back-to-back national titles. Obviously, everyone loves this Huskies team, chasing that back-to-back title. Over-under at 161.5. I'm on Alabama here, plus 11.5 points. I like both underdogs, two big spreads. You could even, this is a spot where I'd like to tease maybe NC State and Alabama, get them up a couple points, plus 16 for NC State and maybe plus 19 or 20.5 for Alabama. I know there's that streak where UConn has led every game in this tournament at some point by 30 points. That's just unreal. This UConn team is loaded. Dan Hurley has these guys playing, but the story, they got to Arizona late. They had some flight issues getting there. I like Alabama on this Crimson Tide team. I think Marcus Sears is enough. He's going to have a big day today. A lot of these shooters on Alabama. I think Alabama needs to be hitting the three ball to win/cover this game, and I think they do. I think they have a good shooting day. I like Alabama plus the 11.5 points. And then as far as who wins the games, I do think we're going to see Purdue versus UConn in the title. If one of these underdogs were to win outright, I do definitely lean more towards NC State and getting an NC State UConn national title. But I love Alabama plus this 11.5 points. I really do. I think this is a good spot for them to come in, cover a spread. What's his name? Nate Oates, the head coach for Alabama. I think, in certain games, you just kind of look at the coaching. Nate Oates, Dan Hurley, two elite coaches in the college basketball world. Obviously, Dan Hurley, much more, accoladed, or has more accolades, I guess you'd say. But two great games on the slate today. College basketball Final Four. Like I said, we're going to have our Monday national championship stream to go through. Give you all of our official picks for the Monday night men's college basketball national championship. Speaking of the other games going on in the Final Four, last night we saw Caitlin Clark take down UConn in that Iowa versus UConn game. A crazy ending, offensive foul called on UConn while Iowa was up 2. Paige Beckers had the ball trying to get around the corner. Someone on UConn, offensive foul. Iowa wins a game by 2. Caitlin Clark almost had a triple-double in the Final Four. So, women's basketball definitely is, peaking at this certain point. A lot of household names. It's going to be a great national title that we have. I think it's tomorrow between South Carolina and Iowa. So, I believe Iowa was an underdog in that one. Going to be, we'll definitely have to see what goes on there. Stay tuned to see if we get any plays out. I know Mackie and Ace have been betting a little bit on that. But yeah, like I said, today in the end, in the Final Four for the men, I'm on NC State plus the points. I'm on Alabama plus the points. I like teasing them even more. If you only want to get one play out, I'd tease NC State and I'd tease Alabama. I think they're both close games till the end. I think definitely if one leg were to lose, I mean, it's hard to say UConn's not going to go on a stretch where they can, go on a 10-0, 12-0 run. And when you're an 11.5 point underdog, you got to minimize those runs, hit your three balls. I like the Crimson Tide and I like the Wolfpack today. We'll jump over into the NHL where we have a couple key matchups here today in the NHL. Obviously, playoff implications on the line, everything. There's a lot of good games today. We'll start out at 1:00. My Pittsburgh Penguins at home in a game they need to win against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a team they're quote unquote chasing, but the Lightning are locked into the playoffs. Penguins need every point they can get. And they're favored in this matchup. Penguins at -114, Lightning at -105. The -1.5 is +205. On the over/under at 6.5. I love the under 6.5 in this game. This is going to be a defensive style game. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, not many conversions. I think the Penguins pull this one out 3-2. Could be in overtime. They get that loser point just in case, but Tampa Bay's a great squad, and I definitely am not overlooking them. Penguins need this one. I'm going to pull up the standings right now. Give me 1 second, and I'll take a look. So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, good games in the NHL today. Penguins in the currently 2 spots out, I believe, in the wild card. They're hunting down that second wild card spot. Yeah, right now. So the playoffs, basically, Philly sits in the second wild card because the Islanders slid up. So right now in the Metro, there's basically a couple spots open. The third spot in the Metro taken by the Islanders. Then Philly in the second wild card spot. Washington, Detroit, all with 83, 83, 82, 82 points. Penguins right behind them with 81. Penguins with a win today could arguably put themselves into the playoffs at that 4th spot. I'm not sure if does Philly play today? Give me a second. I know they lost last night. That was big to a Buffalo Sabres team, but a couple other good games on the slate. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I am going to go with the under 6.5 and the Penguins on the money line there. But a couple other good games. Aces Boston Bruins hosting the Florida Panthers. That's a first-round Stanley Cup playoff rematch from last year. Boston wants to get their wins in while they can. They're fighting for that top seed in the NHL. I like the Bruins here to cover this, not cover the puck line, but I do think they get the win here, minus the 118. Under 5.5 is scary in this game. I was scared, or I was kind of interested to see it that low. These 2 high-flying offenses, I like the over, and I like minus 118 on the money line for the Bruins there. A couple other good games in the NHL. We'll kind of move around. A game, okay, the Flyers do play today, a game that they really need to win in Columbus, coming off a loss in Buffalo last night. I don't love this Flyers team. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think this is a game we saw. I was rooting heavy for those Columbus Blue Jackets 2 nights ago when they played the Islanders in Columbus, but right now, give me the Blue Jackets. Might be a biased pick. Give me the Blue Jackets to win this game. Over under at 6.5. I think it's also another defensive game. Flyers are going to kind of play close to the vest here. Try to get a point. Try to get a couple points if they can. But definitely, I think Philly would be happy to see this game go to overtime just to get a loser point here. But yeah, give me Columbus here to come out. They've been playing good hockey. They just haven't been getting the wins. They're scoring goals against an inferior opponent like the Flyers. I like the Blue Jackets come out on top there. And then another matchup where my Penguins need them to lose in a pick 'em. Nashville at the Islanders. Need the Islanders to lose this game. Predators were one of the hottest teams in the NHL for, since that, everyone was saying since they missed the U2 concert in Vegas, they went on that crazy run. I think they were 16-0-2. They lost 3 straight. They did cool off, but I mean, 16-3-2, still a fucking crazy run. So give me the Predators here. Give me the Predators on the road, minus the 110. Nashville's hot. They're fighting. They're secured in that playoff spot out in the West. But I do like the Predators to come out on top here today. I really think that things are going to align the way we need to for the Penguins. And my Penguins, like I said, might be a little biased there, but I do like the Predators. I think Saros comes out strong. This Predators team is not one to mess with. I definitely everyone's kind of overlooking them in the playoffs. I really like this Predators team to possibly win a series. Call me crazy on that one. When you have a goalie like UC Saros, if he gets hot in the playoffs, they have the defensive pieces in Roman Josi. They have the goal scoring. I like this Nashville team, and they're definitely one of the scary teams out west that I would keep an eye on in those wild card spots. But yeah, in the NHL, like I said, a couple good games there. We're going to bounce over quickly to the MLB. go through a couple of matchups today that we have. Nothing crazy. Obviously, I am gonna be going to this Pirate game, so we'll definitely get into that one as well. I'm gonna start it with this Dodgers Cubs game. Cubs getting a win last night at Wrigley. They come into this game with Wicks versus Yamamoto. Yamamoto and the Dodgers are minus 180 on the money line to win this game, minus 110 for the minus 1.5. Cubs money line is plus 152, and the over/under is 8. I think the Dodgers get their revenge today. I like the Dodgers on the money line minus 180. Maybe either just lay the juice or find another leg that you like and put it with that. But like the Dodgers today to come out on top. Orioles at Pirates. Pirates taking a loss yesterday. They're 6-2 on the year. This is their first kind of real test, I guess you would say, because Baltimore is a very good team, very good lineup to top to bottom. Pirates coming into this one with Bailey Falter on the mound. Don't love that for my Pirates. But Pirates plus 118 on the money line, the over/under at 8.5. Orioles money line minus 138. I am going to be taking the over in this game. I like the over 8.5. I think there's runs scored. We saw runs scored yesterday, but only 7. I think they definitely get a little bit more runs today with some better weather. It was raining, snowing yesterday in Pittsburgh. I think the bats are going to be going off of Wells and Falter today. I definitely like that over 8.5. That's going to be on my personal card, possibly on the team card if everyone else is riding on that play. Mackey's New York Mets continue to struggle heading to Cincinnati, where the Reds are favored at minus 116. I like them today. I don't like this Reds team. I'm going to avoid that game. But another one that I do like is the Yankees on the money line. Yankees on the money line against Toronto. They lost yesterday. I had the minus 1.5, and they lost 3-0. That was a tough look, but I do like this Yankees team, minus 120. They get the job done at Yankee Stadium tonight. But yeah, like I said, there's a couple good playoff implications going on in the NBA. That's where we're going to jump to next is the NBA, if I can get it to go there. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so we got some day basketball with the Cavs at the Lakers. Lakers a 4.5-point favorite. Obviously, they're in that play-in tournament out there in the West. They need to win this game to stay. They want that home court. They want to only have to be that, the 7 or 8 seed that only has to win 1 game instead of 2 to get in. I like the Lakers to handle business on that money line. Not as much on that 4.5. Oh, I didn't realize there's only 4 games today. Okay. Brooklyn Nets, Pistons, both teams eliminated from the playoffs. Not even going to get into that. 76ers minus 12.5. I think that's a nice play. Probably going to be a lot of money on the Sixers. Let's see what there is. Give me 1 second here. 64%, not too bad, and that's according to FanDuel. Definitely want to check CBS and the other apps, but I like the Sixers minus 12.5. I think that's definitely something I'd take. Embiid, this Sixers team's playing for something more. They really want to get into a secure playoff spot. I think they're better than every single team in the Eastern play-in, but I definitely would like them to come out and possibly win a playoff series. You do not want to see Joel Embiid, who's now rested and ready to play in these playoff games. So Give me the Sixers minus the 12.5. I definitely lean on them. Grizzlies, they're fucking terrible. Don't be taking the Grizzlies here plus the 12.5. I like the Sixers to come in and handle business. And then the night game, Denver versus Atlanta. Atlanta just clinched a play-in game spot. They're definitely kind of hanging around, giving some of these good teams some trouble. And that's why I'm going to lean on the Hawks here, plus the 12. They've gone on the road in the past couple of games. They've won big games on their home floor. I don't know if I'll be taking this personally, but I definitely lean on these Hawks plus the 12 points. So, a couple good games. Like I said, NBA, NHL, MLB, all going right now. College basketball Final Four. Basically, a full slate of the sports equinox, I guess you could say, without the NFL. But going to be a great day. We got the national championship coming up on Monday. Make sure you're staying tuned for our live stream there. Other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys on Monday for the Hit the Books National Championship live stream. Make sure you're staying tuned to the social media. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Rumble, getting daily videos out there for you guys, as well as picks, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. It helps us and goes a long way. Boost that algorithm up, and we definitely appreciate it. So thanks for listening, and we will see you guys on Monday for the National